All right, today we're jumping into something pretty different. We're talking about a new kind of digital currency, one that's been built from the ground up specifically to power commerce. It's called KAELUM, and it's trying to solve a problem I think we've all run into. Let's see what they're up to.
And you've probably felt this, right? When it comes to digital value, it really feels like you only have two choices. Over here, you've got the crypto casino. It's wild, it's unpredictable. And over there, you've got that loyalty points jar. The one that promises so much but feels more like collecting bottle caps. Is there really nothing in between?
Yeah, this really lays it all out. You've got the crypto world, which is all about speculation, right? The value goes up, it goes down, it's a total roller coaster. And then you have loyalty points. They lose their value, they expire, and eventually you just stop paying attention. Let's be honest, neither of these is great for just buying stuff.
So that's the setup. The systems we have for both digital money and digital rewards feel kind of broken. Let's dig into that a little deeper and see just how big the problem really is for everyone involved, for shoppers and for businesses. Okay, look at this number, 7 out of nearly 17. Think about that for a second. The average person is a member of almost 17 different loyalty programs, but they only actively use 7 of them. That's less than half. That is a huge disconnect and just so much wasted potential on both sides. So the whole point is, we've been stuck with these two options that just don't quite work for everyday life. The argument here is that it's time for a third way. A new system that's not about gambling or collecting digital dust, but one that's actually built for real-world commerce. All right, so if the old models are broken, what's the alternative? This brings us to this idea of an entirely new category, the commerce currency. And here we have it. This is KAELUM. That's pronounced KAELUM. Now, the official definition is the world's first AI-powered closed-loop currency. That's a mouthful, right? So what on earth does that actually mean?
Well, here's the core idea. Its value has nothing to do with market speculation, what traders are betting on. Instead, its value is governed by an AI that's only looking at one thing: real economic activity happening inside its own network. It's designed purely for spending, for loyalty, and for helping merchants grow. It's a tool, not a trading chip.
I love this quote from the founder, Greggar, because it just cuts right to the heart of it. He basically said, hey, if the money's the problem, then let's just make a better kind of money. He saw how traditional systems were pulling value out of his businesses, so he set out to build one that puts value back in. That's a big swing.
So how does it actually work? It really boils down to 3 key things. First, you've got an AI named Kate that's basically the manager of the whole system. Second, the currency's value only goes up when people are actually using it, buying things. No trading, just real commerce. And third, loyalty is baked right in from the start. It's not some extra program you have to sign up for.
Okay, so AI-managed currency, commerce-driven growth. It sounds cool, but how does the machine actually run? Let's pop the hood and take a look inside the KAELUM engine.
The whole thing is built on this idea of a closed-loop system. And this part is so important. Imagine a self-contained digital economy. The money can only be earned and spent inside that network. So what does that do? It means all the value that gets created stays there. It doesn't leak out. It just keeps circulating and strengthening the system for everybody involved. And who's running this whole show? Well, meet Kate. It's short for KAELUM AI Engine. Now, yeah, they gave the AI a name, which is kind of cool, but don't let that fool you. Kate's job is dead serious. She's basically the central bank, the security guard, and the market analyst for this entire digital economy, all rolled into one. So what's on Kate's to-do list every day? Well, for starters, she's watching every transaction to understand behavior. She's constantly tweaking reward values to make sure they're a good deal for customers and for merchants. She's the security system, always scanning for fraud. But her number one job is to make sure the currency's value is always tied to real-world activity. And this really is the fundamental difference, isn't it? In the crypto world, value comes from guessing what other people will pay for something tomorrow. You buy low, hope to sell high. But in the KAELUM world, value comes from doing things, from buying stuff, from subscribing, from engaging. The more the economy is used, the healthier and more valuable the currency becomes. It's a total paradigm shift. All right, the theory sounds good, but what's in it for me? For the actual people and businesses using it every day. Let's talk about the real-world value here. Wow, okay, check this out. 6%. That's the minimum reward customers get back on every single verified transaction. And we're not talking about confusing points that might buy you a keychain next year. This is real, tangible value right from the get-go.
And it's not just for the shoppers. What about the businesses? The numbers here are pretty staggering. They're seeing a 40 to 60% jump in how often their customers come back to buy something compared to a traditional loyalty program. That's not just a small bump. That is a huge increase in customer loyalty.
This chart just makes it so clear. With old loyalty programs, your points expire. Here, the value actually accumulates. Old rewards are tiny, often useless. Here, they're meaningful from day one. And this last one is the real kicker. With most programs, you're just a consumer. Here, you're a participant. You're actually helping the ecosystem grow, and you benefit from that growth.
So, for our final section, let's just pull the camera back a bit. Because when you look at the big picture, this isn't just about a new way to pay. It's a whole different idea about what commerce could look like in the future.
And this way of thinking even applies to things like NFTs. We all think of NFTs as these speculative pieces of art, their value flying all over the place. But in the KAELUM system, an NFT is a tool. It's a functional asset. Maybe it's your concert ticket, your membership card, your digital key. It has a stable value because it has a real job to do, and it's also managed by KATE.
So when you really boil it down, this isn't just about getting better rewards. That's just a part of it. The real goal here is to build a healthier ecosystem for commerce, one where the interests of shoppers and the interests of businesses aren't fighting each other, but are actually aligned for the first time.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Money should reward effort, enable growth, and support the communities that use it. It's this idea that money shouldn't just be a neutral thing we exchange. It could be an active force that actually improves the community it serves. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. What if every time you bought something, you weren't just spending value, you were creating it? What if every single transaction actually made the whole system, and you along with it, just a little bit better off? It's a pretty powerful idea to think about.